The gym was buzzing. Heavy bags thumped in rhythm, jump ropes slapped the mat, and trainers barked orders from every corner. In Los Angeles, Ironfist MMA Gym was the temple for fighters chasing greatness, and today the energy felt different, like something big was about to happen. Jason Statham had slipped in quietly. No entourage, no fanfare. Just him in a black hoodie, watching the younger fighters train. He wasn't there to make a scene. Jason was mentoring a young amateur, giving him small corrections, showing him how to keep his guard tight and his stance balanced. The fighters respected him, whispering to each other, but no one dared disturb his space. Until Dax the Hammer Mercer walked in. Dax was the gym's top dog. 28 years old, ripped like a machine, tattoos across his arms, and a reputation for breaking sparring partners. Undefeated in local circuits, he was all muscle and ego. He loved being the loudest in the room, and when he spotted Jason by the mats, his grin turned into something cocky. "Oi, look who it is," Dax said, voice booming. "The movie tough guy himself. Thought you'd be on a set somewhere, not playing coach." The gym went silent. Fighters stopped mid-punch, mid-kick, watching the confrontation unfold. Jason didn't even flinch, just looked up. Calm. His eyes sharp. "Good to see you too, mate," Jason replied evenly. "Just giving this lad a few tips." But Dax wasn't interested in respect. He stepped closer, his bulk towering over the smaller student Jason was training. He smirked. "Tips? Please. You're an actor, not a fighter. Let's be real, you wouldn't last a round with me." A low murmur ran through the gym. Some smirked. Others shook their heads. Everyone knew Jason's real background. His years in martial arts. His black belt in karate. But Dax either didn't know or didn't care. He wanted to make a show. Jason straightened, pulling down his hoodie, revealing his lean, hardened frame. He wasn't as massive as Dax, but every muscle on him carried years of real combat discipline. He locked eyes with the young fighter, then back at Dax. "You sure you want to do this?" Jason asked, his voice calm but carrying an edge. Dax laughed. "I'm more than sure. Why don't we give the boys a little show? You and me, right now. Let's see if Hollywood moves can survive against a real cage fighter." Jason sighed, shaking his head. He looked like a man who'd rather avoid trouble, but trouble had walked up to him. The room buzzed as the fighters circled around, forming an arena. Phones came out, cameras ready. Jason slipped off his hoodie. Underneath, he wore a plain black t-shirt, his fists already taped. He stepped onto the mat barefoot, his posture calm, controlled. Dax cracked his knuckles, bouncing on his heels, the predator ready to strike. The coach of the gym tried to step in. "Dax, enough. Jason's a guest here." But Jason raised a hand. "It's all right. Sometimes lessons need to be taught the hard way." The crowd went dead silent. Round 1. The clash of egos. Dax exploded forward like a bull. He threw a heavy jab cross combo, aiming straight for Jason's head. Jason slipped effortlessly, his movements sharp, economic karate precision against wild MMA aggression. Jason countered with a lightning-fast front kick, his foot slamming into Dax's midsection, sending him stumbling back. The crowd gasped. Dax snarled. Lucky shot. He lunged again, this time shooting for a takedown. Jason pivoted, sprawling low, his balance unshakable. He twisted out, grabbed Dax's arm, and with a sharp motion sent him tumbling to the mat. The fighters roared in disbelief. Jason hadn't even broken a sweat. Round 2. Pride meets discipline. Dax got up, furious, his pride burning hotter than the sting of Jason's strikes. He swung wild hooks, his power undeniable, but Jason blocked, parried, and sidestepped with surgical precision. Every time Dax committed, Jason punished him with crisp counters, low kicks that chopped into his thigh, a snapping back fist that grazed his jaw. The crowd wasn't cheering Dax anymore. They were whispering, "Damn, Jason's the real deal." Jason's eyes never left Dax. Calm, focused, like a predator who didn't need to prove anything. "Fighting's not about ego," Jason said between movements. "It's about control." Dax charged with one final desperate haymaker. But Jason was ready. He stepped in, twisted his hips, and unleashed a spinning hook kick that cracked across Dax's temple. Dax staggered, legs buckling. He dropped to one knee, stunned, gasping for breath. The end. Respect earned. Jason didn't follow up. He didn't need to. He stood there, still as stone, his chest rising and falling evenly. The room was silent. Every eye locked on him. Dax looked up, sweat dripping, pride shattered. He expected mockery, humiliation. But instead, Jason extended a hand. "Get up, mate. Lesson's over." The gesture shocked Dax more than the kick. Slowly, he took Jason's hand, and Jason pulled him to his feet. "You've got talent," Jason said, his voice firm but not unkind. "But you let your mouth and your pride get ahead of you. That's not how real fighters last. Discipline beats ego every time." Dax lowered his head, humbled. The gym broke into applause not for Dax, but for Jason. Fighters, coaches, even spectators clapped, nodding with respect. Jason grabbed his hoodie, threw it back over his shoulders, and gave one last nod to the young fighter he was mentoring. "Keep training, keep your head straight. That's how you win." And with that, Jason Statham walked out of the gym, leaving behind silence, awe, and a lesson no one there would ever forget. Because that day, every fighter in Iron Fist Gym learned the truth. Discipline hits harder than pride.